Do you experience pain from playing your harp? That can be so frustrating because we come to the harp wanting to play beautiful music and for it to be relaxing, but then you can find that it's actually uncomfortable to your body and might even cause you pain. But did you know that there are people who specialize in helping harpists to play without pain? Amazing! In today's video, I interviewed Susan Vaughan, who is a music ergonomist, and she is going to teach us how to position our bodies to make sure that we don't cause pain while we're playing the harp. And then I'm going to apply that into a step-by-step routine that you can do whenever you practice. So if you'd like to skip straight to that routine, you can go to the timestamp that's on the screen right now. But before we get to that, what is music ergonomics? My understanding is that it looks at the relationship between you and your instrument, making sure that it's comfortable and that it helps you to prevent injury. Susan is a harpist, and her experience of having pain while she's playing is actually what brought her to music ergonomics in the first place.
In musical ergonomy, in the study of just looking at how you play your instrument and how you relate to your harp, it's what are we doing to contribute to that discomfort. And that's what led me to it really in the first place, was shoulder and neck pain as I played my harp.
So she says that the pain we most often experience when playing the harp is likely to be neck and shoulder pain, back pain, and tightness in your hands, amongst other things. Now, it's possible that the pain you're experiencing is actually from a pre-existing condition like arthritis or some kind of injury like a back injury or rotator cuff, and that's going to have to be in another video. We'll talk about that another time. But today's video is for you if you're experiencing pain because of playing your harp. Alright, let's get to the footage of my session with Susan. She's going to help me get into neutral posture, which is the healthy position for your body while you're playing.
So neutral posture means we're trying to, in part, eliminate the curve in the back. Now, if you were to go into military posture,
it's like this.
Exactly, and then roll back on your hips, I can feel that curve subside in your back. It gets smaller. So that's a much healthier place to be. Also, we talked about the balance of the weight on your head. So find that place of natural balance with that bowling ball that you have on your neck. And just kind of relax. Does that feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, how do your shoulders feel to you?
My shoulders always feel tight.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you to kind of slump again, drop down, and then straighten up like you've got a string here through your head. Okay. And then bring out your sternum. Without moving the rest of your body, bring out your sternum. How does that feel?
Like a little bit more of an effort.
Yeah, because you're not used to it. Yeah. And then just kind of bring your shoulders back a little bit. There you go. Does that feel better?
It feels different.
Mm-hmm. And it is different.
Yeah.
The other thing about neutral posture is when you're seated behind the harp, you want your hips to be a little higher than your knees.
Okay.
And they're actually that height for that looks good.
So a little bit of a slope.
A little bit of a slope. And then bring your knees apart a little bit and your feet under your knees a little bit more and flat. And do you feel like you have some weight on your feet?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to have some weight. Okay, now just kind of take a few deep breaths in that position and just get the feel of it. Does that feel any more natural as you sit in it a little longer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we call neutral posture. And that is sort of the foundation that we always come back to. Now, it's something you're going to have to practice and do every time. You have to think about it until it becomes a natural habit. Okay. So I'm going to reach right back here. So roll back a little more. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really easy to come out of it until you really learn how to just get into it and go back into it. And you have to remember that it's a journey. It's not a quick fix. So I'm not going to bring you and talk to you and you're going to walk out of here having perfect ergonomics and feel really comfortable. Because it's taking years, months to get to the position that you're in now. Mm-hmm. And it's going to take a long time to relearn muscle patterns, to relearn how to relate to your heart.
All right, thank you so much, Susan. So now here's my summary. I'm putting it into a step-by-step routine that you can do whenever you practice. Step 1, Check the height of your chair. Now you shouldn't be practicing on a couch or a sofa. Make sure your chair is the right height so that your knees are lower than your hips, and there should be a slight slope down from your hips to your knees. Step 2, make sure your feet are firmly on the ground. They should be hip distance apart, and your feet should be directly below your knees, not too far forward or too far back. Step 3, make sure your spine is straight. So first imagine a string pulling up through the center of your head, making you taller, and then check that you aren't tilting over to one side or the other, especially around to look at your harp. We mustn't do that. So make sure everything is in alignment. Step number 4, make sure your pelvis is in a neutral position. So to do that, we are not going to be slouching our backs forwards. We're going to be sitting up straight, but then you need to tighten your stomach muscles to slightly flatten out your back so that you're not overarching your back. Step number 5, make sure your head is balanced. So Susan says you must imagine your head is a bowling ball. Does it suit me? Okay, so that heavy bowling ball is balanced on your shoulders. So make sure your head isn't too far forwards, that's very common, but also don't pull it too far back. It should be nicely balanced on your shoulders. And finally, step number 6, check that your shoulders are in a good position. So they shouldn't be slumped forwards, but you also shouldn't be overly pulling them back. They should be nicely relaxed in the middle. Now take a deep breath and see how it feels. Do you have any tension? Breathe out and maintain that neutral posture, but let any tension go. Now we're ready to bring the harp to you. It's really important that we don't arrange our bodies around the harp when we're playing, but we find our neutral posture and then we bring the harp to our bodies and maintain that neutral posture. Now here's a helpful tip. Have someone with you when you do this the first few times. It can be really helpful for you to get into your neutral posture and then for them to bring the harp to you. And now during your practice, if you start experiencing pain or tension while you're playing again, put your harp down, shake it all out, take a deep breath, and apply all these steps over again. Make sure you get back into neutral posture, and then you can continue your practice. Now, after you've applied this to your playing for some time, if you're still experiencing pain while you're playing your harp, I think it's a really good idea that you get an assessment with a music ergonomist. Now, if you can't find one in your area, then Susan does do video call assessments, so you can check the description box for her details and organize an assessment with her. I have another video with Susan coming up soon where we talk about how to pick a harp that suits your body. So if you'd like to see that video, make sure you subscribe and click that little notification bell to receive notifications so that YouTube will tell you when my next video comes out. And I'll see you in the next one.